everyone, and welcome back to the Cricket Link Up. Wow, it's so fitting that we're coming to you in South Africa, of course, on SuperSport and around Africa, because today we had the Battle of Southern Africa. So we had to get our African team. We've got Nazeer, we've got Phila, and we've got my brother, Chris Morris. Murray, your team, man, they look strong. Only unbeaten team in the tournament still.
Yeah, played really well, didn't the lads? They put on a good performance today. Obviously, a few changes, resting a few players, giving some players a run. And I thought it was a pretty good performance. Obviously, in the beginning, there are a few little hiccups in terms of the bats, but, a couple of balls misbehaving, a couple of good deliveries. Zimbabwe showing their fight that they've shown throughout the whole tournament. And, nice that the boys got a run out. They got some pressure put on them and sucked it up quite well. So very happy that we're still undefeated and going into those semi-finals. Now, Nikhil, we know what happens now. Now we're waiting for what we really want to watch. What we really want to watch. This is just before the West Indies versus India. And it's time.
It's right here. I have it on the screen right next to me.
It's time. I'm busy. Myself and Phila, you can see, we looks like we got the same office.
The same background.
We're at SuperSport Park watching cricket too, grafting for the domestic in South Africa. But yeah, it's time for your people to stand up, Nikhil. We need you.
No comment. Nazeer, surely we can say that South Africa are favourites now. Surely.
It depends. I'll tell you after this West Indies and India game. If India go out and destroy West Indies, India are the favourites. But now I can't say we're not the favourites. Phila keeps telling me it's coming home. It's coming home. I'm with Phila now. It's coming home. I don't know. I thought today was our toughest Super 8 game, to be honest. And we played West Indies and India. Not the toughest, it was the closest. I felt like Zimbabwe were in the game for most of the game. I think the pitch wasn't as flat as people were saying. The ball was keeping low at times. At the start, the ball was bouncing a lot. It was rushing people. Rickleton got hit. I just hope he's okay. So, yeah.
A lot of ice. He applied a lot of ice to that head, man. I hope he's not concussed, honestly. Morris knows what that feels like.
Yeah, there's better to a few guys in my time too, so I know what
I'm not really sure about that.
Yeah, but look,
what's up?
Yeah,
it's coming home, Nikhil. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home.
Morris, can you go and mute that office next to you, please?
Yeah, there's a lot of confidence coming from the office next to me. Now, I think in terms of coming home, we've seen what's happened in other sports when people start shouting that it's coming home. I like the quiet confidence that the Proteas are airing at the moment. They're busy going about their business quite nicely. And, that's one thing that we have learned in tournaments is that we don't look too far ahead, unfortunately. We did mention that India and West Indies are playing today. And, you look at the tournament and India are still the favourites. That's the reality of it. West Indies are playing really well. Obviously had the slight hiccup against South Africa, but, they are the team that can beat India and cause an upset. And let's call it what it is. It would be an upset if India had to get knocked out at this stage. So I'm quietly confident. But, we have got a record in semi-finals. And now we can say we have a record in finals. And, there could be the potential of us playing India again in the final if we get there. But look, England and New Zealand are playing some seriously good cricket. Yes, New Zealand had to wait for the result yesterday against Pakistan, but very dangerous teams, and these guys are in the semis for a reason. And that's what we need to remember. So I'm not looking too far ahead. We've had a couple of very good weeks in India. We're unbeaten. We've played really well. We've been tested. We've ridden the wave. We've calmed the storm. But now this is a completely different animal that we are facing. So I love the confidence, Phila. But if you say that one more time, I might have to break through this wall and just tell you to calm down.
No one's scared of you, Chris Morris. Nobody's scared of you. Now, guys, honestly, today, as you can see, a lot of activity happening behind me. I'm in Delhi right now. It was so cool to see, I think, both the teams play. Obviously, Zimbabwe and South Africa are almost like brothers and sisters and neighbors, as you guys would all know. And honestly, the intensity, although the game, South Africa had to win to top the group, but both teams kind of knew their fate. There was still an intensity about the game. And I actually want to spend some time on Zim. Guys, over there, I could not believe how many fans have actually flown in from Zimbabwe, Castle Corner, to actually support them. And after the game, it was such a good tribute. All the players ran over there. Then they left. Sakandar Raza finished the presentation, ran over there. And they're in the next World Cup as well. I mean, what a story.
It's an amazing story, right? When you follow what has happened in terms of that Castle Corner and their journeying, being able to get to India, had to come back to Zimbabwe because they ran out of funds halfway through. They didn't expect to actually go through to the Super 8 stage of the competition, so they had to come back, gather more sponsorship to be able to go back for those Super 8 games. And it's been a fantastic story. I think in the past sort of year, the fact that they've played so much cricket in all forms of the game, 2025 was a big year for them. They played a lot of cricket at home and abroad. So that match fitness, being able to broaden, sort of different skill sets that are needed in T20 cricket, helped them a lot last year to be able to pick a side that can compete and go to the next level at this T20 World Cup. And it's such a fantastic story. I mean, we've all followed Zimbabwe cricket throughout the 90s, 2000s, and now sort of trying to resurrect themselves back to, sort of the competitiveness that they showed in those earlier years. And it's so good to see. Justin Salmons has got a really good background staff with him to be able to nurture these young Zimbabwean talents that are coming
Courtney
through.
Walsh, sorry, just
Courtney Walsh
there.
also.
Have to get a West Indian. Have to get a West Indian.
You have to have some flair somewhere in there, So that's just been so fantastic to see. Sorry, the lights have gone on here. I need to try and move again. There we go. But it's so fantastic to see Zimbabwe going from strength to strength, and especially that support flying from everywhere, especially from Zimbabwe, to come and support them in Sri Lanka and in India.
I just to add to that, Phila, like you've spoken about how Zimbabwe have been playing a lot of cricket, and we followed that over the past year or so. But one thing I need to mention is, and it adds to the credibility of this tournament, is the fact that half of this team hasn't played in India before.
Yeah.
And to actually perform on this level, to make it through to the Super 8s, now if you look at it back, you could say that Sri Lanka and Australia were easy games because of the way Sri Lanka and Australia were performing. But at the time, Zimbabwe beating Australia is massive. And it still is massive. But at the time, it was even bigger because we didn't see the way Australia were going. So I think from my side, and Nikhil said Zimbabwe and South Africa are brothers and sisters. If you looked at my comment section, you wouldn't think we're brothers and sisters the way they but I think fair play to Zimbabwe. It used to be a matter of one or two players, maybe Brendan Taylor and Raza, for example. I think now they've got a few more. Brian Bennett's probably been one of the standouts of the tournament. They still had a few injuries and they competed against South Africa today.
Yeah.
So I just want to say fair play to Zimbabwe. Some of those boys deserve IPL contracts, and I think they're going to get some.
Morris, get more Zimbabweans into the SA20. Come on, you're very up there in terms of the hierarchy. Make it happen, Maury.
Oh, jeez, I wish I was high up in the hierarchy. No, listen.
Super Giants.
Blessing, IPL winner. Let's put it that way. Played with RCB. IPL winner. No, look, I think it'd be a wonderful to get them in the SSOG, and what a platform for them to have done it. You watch these guys play, and you talk about Zimbabwe and almost how they've digressed in their cricket, and because of the funding, because of the board, and what's happened in the country, but the passion has never left, and that's what you can appreciate. You got guys that Ryan Bill will talk about his tweet that he had a couple of years ago about his boots falling apart and. Funding and stuff like that. And for these guys to still be sticking it out and performing. And I think what sticks out, apart from all the uphill that they've had and everything that's been up against, that they've been up against it, is that the fact that their passion for playing for their country has never, ever faded. Yeah. You've got these guys that are you don't want to call them struggling cricketers because it's not about the actual cricket. It's just about the finances behind it. And sometimes you almost lose your passion behind it because it's like, what are you actually playing for? But these guys have got almost a different call and a different vibe, and the heartbeat of Zimbabwe is their cricket. And and obviously they got a football side, but when there's cricket on in Zimbabwe, people go watch it. And for these guys to perform the way they did in India on the biggest stage, beating some of the biggest teams, and causing trouble for some of the biggest teams is an unbelievable achievement. And with the performances that these guys have put on in this World Cup, I've got no doubt that there will be a few more Zimbabwean players in the SA20 because it'll be wonderful to see, and a lot of support for them all over the world. And it's every single World Cup. You don't want to call them a minnow team because they're not a minnow team, but a team that's not expected to make the top 8. We saw that happen in the last World Cup with the USA. And, the Cinderella story, unfortunately, didn't happen for them to get to the semi-finals. But my goodness, they won over a lot of hearts this year. And, proud to be a part of the African continent.
Just a quick one also, Nikhil, to add. It's Zimbabwean sport now, really, because when you look at it, their rugby side now, the Sables are going to the 2027 Rugby World Cup. That's the first time since, I think, 1991 that they've been to a Rugby World Cup. So you look at it holistically, Zimbabwean sport is on the rise, and their cricket team is front and center of that rise again.
Tell me you're South African without saying you're South African. Y'all had to find a way to get rugby in there.
Yes, you have to. You have to.
Anyways, guys, no, Zim have been special, man. Big challenge ahead because South Africa have not played in anywhere else other than Ahmedabad and Delhi. So now they go to Kolkata for a semi-final against New Zealand, who they faced already and beaten. Nazeer, honest feelings. What I want to know is what percentage favorites are South Africa? Because you've already told me they're second or first tournament favorites. What percentage do they start against New Zealand?
I think in that game in particular, I think, if I'm being honest, like a 65% favorite going into that game. I must say, though, I was thinking, do I rather want to face Pakistan in Sri Lanka or New Zealand in India? And I would have probably said New Zealand in India. That's what I would have chosen. That's what we got. Then I had a look and I realized it's Kolkata and New Zealand semi-final in Kolkata. And I think I had a bit of PTSD myself. But I do think we are going into it a slight favorites. I don't know. Any of you guys have kids? Maybe give a call to Matt Henry and tell him that he needs to spend some more time with his newborn. Give us some time off. I think he's one of their key players.
Yeah.
All the best to his wife's birth, but I would prefer. I think our favorite tags goes up a bit if he doesn't play. Actually,
sure.
Look,
Murray,
it's tough place to bowl. I can tell you, Kolkata, it tends to be quite a quick bouncing wicket, and it's not the biggest of grounds either. There's a lot of crowd noise there. I can tell you that much. I think it's 90,000 people that can fit in there. But look, it is a place that I think a lot of the guys have played at in the IPL. They've played a lot of international cricket there too. So, look, I do like our chances, but it's a knockout game in a World Cup. And unfortunately, the reality is you've got to go into those games 50-50 because on the day, we've seen how quickly a game can change by one person performing well. And it's a horrible game, this T20, because you could be on top of a team and one of the Australian batters can have a day out there, and if it's a turning wicket, I tell you what, we're going to have to be on the money because we saw the two New Zealand spinners, how well they did in Sri Lanka. So if the ball is turning, a lot of experience, and we know what they are. They're a bunch of scrappers. They're a very, very good cricket team. They're a well-balanced cricket team. But when it comes down to the nitty and gritty, they scrap so hard to the end. And yeah, the 65%, I would love to agree with Nazeer. I'm all up for it. I would love it. But I just know in knockout cricket, it is 50-50 when you get there. And I think it's probably a case of who's going to hold their nerve for a lot longer because we are in form. New Zealand are obviously there. They had a scare, so they've got almost a new lease on life. So great place to play cricket. But yeah, a terrifying thought as well.
Phila, I see the lights are going out by you. Is that a sign of what's going to happen to?
No. This is not an indication of what's going to happen in the semifinal. Not at all. But it's going to be fantastic. I think that semi-final is going to be so good for South Africa. I've seen, though, on social media, a lot of people have been posting what happened semi-final 50-over World Cup in 2015. And people are saying, New Zealand have got the wood over South Africa at a knockout phase of an ICC event. Go back to 2015, Grant Elliott, Dale Steyn. So I don't want to get ahead of myself because of what Chris has said about this New Zealand side being such a dangerous side. Street smart cricketers. They've got guys that can do jobs throughout the innings, whether you're bowling or batting. Fantastic fielders, Glenn Phillips, Rachin Ravindra, Mark Chapman. So many good cricketers in that side. So it's going to be a tough one for South Africa. And I also think, condition changes. South Africa played a lot of their their cricket in this World Cup in Ahmedabad. Had to travel probably once or twice after that, but predominantly played a lot of their cricket in Ahmedabad, and now have to go to Kolkata. And if Murray, from experience, is saying quick bouncy wicket, then it sort of plays in South Africa's favor. So won't worry too much about conditions, but how they adapt to it quickly is going to be key. That guy, once you've gone though, Nikhil, he's ready to kick you out of the stadium.
He's good. Guys, just as we're speaking, India just dropped a catch. Just saying.
Oh no!
India just dropped a catch.
Horrible news.
So
It could be the year.
India better hope they win, because if they don't, that Star Sports advert, which everyone saw, is coming.
That was very interesting. Listen, guys, we're running out of time. I need predictions. We need predictions. We don't know what the other semi-final in Mumbai will be. We know England is there. We don't know who else will be there. Are y'all all three happy to say South Africa are going to win that semi-final?
It's coming home.
Morris, you don't seem so confident.
I don't know about the it's coming home just yet, but I'm very confident that we will get the job done in the semi-final. It's obviously going to be a tough game, but the guys are riding a lot of confidence and do the basics right to win the big moments in the game. We know what it's all about, and hopefully we'll get another shot at that World Cup final.
Oh, and Nazeer, I already know your answer. I have a good one for you, actually. Who's been the player of the tournament this far?
You guys can go first again.
It's hard to look past some of the top performers. I know Saib Zada Farhan is not.
What a knock yesterday. What a knock, man.
He's special.
First ever man to have 200s in a World Cup.
Exactly. You can't look past that. I mean, that's fantastic. And the way that he's done in terms of the impact of those 2 centuries at this World Cup could have given Pakistan a better chance at getting past the Super 8 stage. But I can't look past Saib Zada Farhan. From a bowling point of view, I think a player like Lungi Ngidi and Marco Jansen, from a South African point of view, also in the conversation. Blessing Muzarabani also in the mix, but you can't look past Saib Zada Farhan.
Nobody's mentioning Will Jacks. I think Will Jacks is a good shot.
Nazeer, no, Charlie did mention him on the last episode. He has been unreal, man.
Yeah, no, Will Jacks is... England are peaking at the right time. We've said that before, but Will Jacks is a key reason why they're actually in the semi-finals, to be honest.
For me, I look at Will Jacks. I think he's great. I think you can't cut out Harry Brook. I think the way he's played in difficult situations and captain's knocks, he's gotten his team over the line a few times. So those two for me. But I think for me, in a place where it's difficult to bowl, we know how difficult the wickets are. We know that the fields are small. We know the pressure that you are put on. Right there.
Ngidi!
I'm sitting in the Lungi Ngidi room suite at the Titans or at SuperSport Park. And I think for me, Lungi has been the standout bowler in this tournament because we've seen how the seamers have been taken apart. And, for him to have taken as many wickets as he had at the rate he's been doing, I think for me, he potentially could be my player of the tournament.
Listen, brothers and sisters of Africa, watching this live, the next time we come to you from Cricket Link Up, South Africa will either be undefeated and in a final or eliminated from a competition. This World Cup has been so good. Lastly, y'all, I think this is one of the best World Cups in T20 World Cups we've had. It's been so competitive, man.
Absolutely. I called it before the World Cup. I said this is probably the most open World Cup we've ever seen. Obviously, everybody agreed that India was going into the World Cup as the favourites. But if you looked at all the other teams, there wasn't a clear second favourite. Apart from, South Africa had their good, we're playing nice in New Zealand. You can never count out Australia. England are always dangerous. West Indies, Pakistan. So obviously, I don't think any of us thought Zimbabwe would have gotten as far as they did with respect. But it's the first time we've looked at a World Cup and you've gone, if India slip up, we actually don't have another favourite. You know? And obviously things change during the World Cup and you start figuring out who's in form, who's not. But it's been an unbelievable World Cup. Performances left, right and centre, catches galore, sixes, wickets. Just an unbelievable tournament.
Nazeer, for your sake, you didn't want to buy into the confidence. You didn't want to buy into the favourite style. You finally bought in. I hope now that they don't give you a reason to to regret your decision, man.
Nah,
It's going to be good.
2 more games, that's all we need. We just need 2 more good games. I literally have goosebumps thinking about Wednesday. You won't see me smiling if we don't win, so let's just hope we win. And we have another extra show for the Link Up show on the final on Sunday.
Phila, one more is coming home just for Chris Morris and South Africa.
We're preparing the bus tour, Nikhil. It's already in motion. The bus tour is been prepared. It's coming home, buddy.
All I'll say is if the West Indies get past India, watch out. Anyways, guys, this has been the Cricket Link Up. Chris Morris, Nazeer, Phila. It has been so much fun. We will come to you one more time at least, and we'll see if my guests will be smiling or frowning. It's going to be so good. Cricket Link Up. Keep watching, keep supporting, and keep letting us know your predictions on social media. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.